Welcome to the Mint Report, our wrap-up of the day's business news. Here are the top stories. Cairn-Vedanta deal is finally complete. Food inflation falls to a 3.5-year low, and markets plunge on Thursday. First off, the long-awaited Cairn-Vedanta deal is finally complete. On Thursday, Vedanta Resources announced it had finished buying a 58.5% stake in Cairn India. That stake was worth $8.67 billion. While Vedanta Resources now directly holds a 38.5% stake in Cairn India, its subsidiary Sesa Goa holds another 20%. Meanwhile, original parent firm Cairn Energy still owns about 22% of Cairn India. Shares of that company dropped 3.74% on the BSE on a day the Sensex lost 2.3%. Meanwhile, India's food inflation has fallen to its lowest in more than 3 years. The food price index dropped to 6.6% in the period to the 26th of November. In the previous week, it stood at 8%. A drastic 4% fall in potato prices contributed to the latest decline. Prices of meat and eggs also dropped 1% during the period. But the easing in food inflation is also seasonal. This is a time of the year in which new crops pour into markets. One factor that could spike up overall inflation again is the weakening of the rupee. But on Thursday, RBI Governor D. Subbarao said some decline in the rupee had already been factored into the 7% estimate for headline inflation for the end of the fiscal year. RBI has increased policy rates 13 times since March of last year in its effort to fight inflation. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee has said the global slowdown has affected foreign direct investments in India. He added that India would not remain unaffected by the Eurozone crisis. And finally, Indian markets plummeted on Thursday with the Sensex registering its biggest fall in 3 weeks. Poor sentiment at home and the continuing Eurozone crisis took their toll. The Sensex nosedived 389 points to 16,488 and the Nifty dropped 119 points to 4,944. Retailers were among the worst hit, with investors still reacting to the government's decision to put FDI on hold. Pantaloon retail tumbled nearly 6% on the BSE to 186 and Shoppers Stop fell 1.26% to 345. Shares of auto companies also lost ground, with the outlook on car sales becoming less optimistic. Tata Motors lost 1.31% to 189 and Maruti Suzuki retreated 2.38% to 975 rupees and 15 paise. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.